Hello everyone, I'm Christopher Nightingale.
I'm Joe Pickles.
I'm Stephen Sargent.
And today, as you can see, we're trialling out a new variation of our It Was Just Banter podcast. I think we'll call this one Lockdown Banter. I think that's rather apt during these times. As with Meaning of Life, when we effectively ripped off the Ricky Gervais show, this we're ripping off Match of the Day Top 10 podcast show.
A little bit, yeah.
So what we decided to do today is to come up with a list of our top 10 most emotional goals. So whether it's emotion where we've gone absolutely mental, or it's been a sucker punch, or even maybe brought a tear to the eye. It's our top 10 most emotional goals during our lifetime. So before we get into the top 10, I just want to ask both of you, are there any goals that you just left out that could have gone in but didn't?
I spent a load of time thinking about it, and I've tried to capture a different emotion for each goal as best I possibly can.
Okay.
So there's a couple of goals which haven't made it in, which would normally make it in for me, but it's a different. It's the same emotion as the other one. So I've decided, well, it's the same thing. So I'm not going to just repeat myself.
That's fair enough. Was there one that was what was the hardest one to leave out of your top 10?
I'll mention a few when I get going.
Okay.
Gary Thompson against Arsenal was one that's missed out, okay, because it's very similar to other ones. Okay. So I thought, well, repeating myself. And a few others as well. But I'll mention those along the line.
No worries. How about you, Sargi? Were then it just missed out on your top 10?
One.
Okay.
Lingard's goal against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup.
Okay.
What about Wijnaldum's against Barcelona, Sarge? That was a pretty good one.
Another one.
Or Origi's against Barcelona.
Nope.
Okay.
Benzema's against Liverpool, I missed out. Just the emotional side of the laughter. Bale's against Liverpool.
But you hate Real Madrid. Why the hell is Benzema even in the conversation?
Funny, isn't it?
Right. So what we'll do is we'll get into the top 10. And we'll start with number 10. And if we, for some reason, mention a goal that's on each other's lists, then we'll talk about it there and then and say where we put it. So we'll start with you, Joe. What is your number 10?
Well, it changed a couple of times towards the end. I just mentioned it changed with Gary Thompson's. Yeah. But that's similar to other ones. I've gone with Sergio Aguero's winner against Queen's Park Rangers.
Oh, I've got that one as well.
It's not really based on what it meant to me. It didn't really change me that much. But seeing what it meant to people in both Sunderland that day and in Manchester, and the changes of emotions from 1 second to the next, was just unbelievable. But the commentary does help, I'll be honest with you. That season, I wasn't actually following the Premier League. I was following the Spanish League and the Bundesliga. But I remember watching it, and I was just thinking, well, I don't think it'll happen again.
I agree. I think it's one of these things that will not happen again. I've got it on my list. I've got it as number 5, actually. Yeah. I've got it as 5th. I don't know what Sargi's got it as.
10.
Yeah.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few goals which are similar. So I was looking back. I thought when Atletico won the title in 2014, Diego Godin scored against Barcelona. That type of goal for those fans is the same thing, really. It's just it wasn't in England. That's all. Trippier against Croatia for English fans and all these goals. They're all similar, but I thought that one really captured the difference in emotions between one team that had lost and one team that had won, and also one team that had stayed up, because that was QPR. It came down to the final day for them.
That's true. Yeah, I think the reason I've got it fifth is because for me that's like the ultimate like gut punch of a goal. Like we were a second away from winning the title, like literally a second away from winning the title, and that happens. It's like you're completely just the roller coaster ride of football emotion is that afternoon, basically.
Anybody who doesn't kind of understand the importance of football to so many people, I challenge them to watch that goal or the whole highlights of those two matches, and then come back and try and make the same argument. Yeah. Because I don't think you can. I don't think you can really.
No, it as you've said, I don't think we're ever going to see anything like that again. Like last minute, last day drama like that again.
Yeah.
On that scale. Because everyone talks about Aguero's goal and no one mentions Dzeko's goal. Because if it weren't for Dzeko, like Aguero would have meant nothing. Like really.
I think as a professional goalkeeper, Paddy Kenny, you got to be looking at that winner and thinking, could I have got behind it at the near post? Because he wasn't the greatest goalkeeper in the world. But anyway,
Balotelli with the assist on the floor, basically scrambled it along Sergio, basically.
I remember seeing Ferguson's face. I don't think I've ever seen him look like that.
Where he's kind of like, we have to applaud the fans, but he's kind of absolutely just got. You can see he's just completely just. Everyone's just don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I've got a phone call a minute. Hold on,
Fair enough. Well, you can cut this anyway, so.
Yeah. How unprofessional.
Yeah, your point about Dzeko and all them scoring. Joey Barton also didn't help by getting sent off in that game.
I saw that,
yeah, and he did try taking someone off with him, but they were having none of it and didn't like. So, yeah. And I was listening to it on the radio, and when they scored, when I turned it on, QPR were winning, and then when 15 minutes later, fucking City had won it, so mad.
I didn't actually watch the City game live. I kept it on our match. I actually, when we'd finished, I didn't flick over the channel. I kept it on our game. So I only knew they scored by the real-time reaction of our fans at Sunderland.
Oh.
Which was like, oh shit, what the hell has just happened? And then they showed the split screen of what had happened at City, and it's like, no way. No way has that just happened. So, yeah, that was... Yeah. My number 10 is actually a Bradford one. I've got a Bradford one in there as number 10. Because it's probably, like, the happiest I've seen Pickles. And it came after, like, several years of Bradford struggling in League Two. So to see the journey from being almost relegated to, like, conference to this goal, that it's the contrast of that and what it meant for Pickles and all the Bradford fans who I was watching it. So I've gone for Naki Wells' goal in the League Two playoff final in 2013. The third one. Because for that goal, it was like everyone could relax at that point because you just knew that Bradford were smashing it and they were going up.
Now Reid. Another header towards goal, and there's a third goal! And it's Naki Wells! And surely it's game over with less than half an hour played.
And so
I remember when we scored the first one, and I think the second one, I didn't even react. I just sat there. It's like, well, it's not finished yet. I'm not going to celebrate too early. And yeah, the third one's kind of the one, wasn't it, really? Yeah.
Third one's absolute clincher. So just watching everyone just lose it. And at that point, everyone was like, you could kind of relax a bit, really, because Northampton didn't lay a glove on Bradford all game, to be honest. Yeah.
Akin Fenwer and Clark Carlisle are on the pitch and everything.
So yeah, that was my number 10.
Good goal, that, yeah.
Right, Pickles, what's your number 9?
So kind of a bit like the reason why I guess Sarge picks Aguero's to 10. A player who some people might know, called Armand Nandwile. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. And it was his second goal against us for Blackpool when they beat us 4-1 last season. You were there. You were
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And I remember looking to the left and seeing people so angry. I thought for Brazilian fans it might compare to when Kroos scored against them, that type of feeling. And I remember the person sitting next to me saying to me, "Yeah, it's really upsetting." And I remember saying, "Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is upsetting." And I think I had a tear in my eye at that point because, like you said with your goal for number 10, Naki Wells' goal, and all those other goals that in the couple of years afterwards. And then that one was really horrible for me.
Yeah, I remember.
I could have put a few. I could have put a few in. I think there was a last-minute winner Blackpool scored that season in the other match against us. I could have put that one in. Northampton scored a winner against us in the past. Brighton in the last minute. I mean, there's loads of winners against Bradford I could have put in, but that one especially was really horrible. And actually, before that game, I remember saying to people, "We're going to get relegated, even if we win today." And that goal kind of confirmed it, really. And it wasn't a nice moment at all.
Yeah, that was a horrible game. That was actually the worst game I've seen of Bradford. Worst Bradford performance I've seen. Because it was like that was the one where you thought, oh, the team's really in trouble here. If they play like that in such a high important game, to play like that, they really are in trouble. Which was so yeah.
It was horrible, and it's one I didn't want to put in there because you want to forget it. But if I'm talking about capturing the range of emotions, that one has to go in there as well.
No, that's right. That's fair enough, mate.
It's still not being recovered from because we're still down there. So
no. Sargi, what's your number 9?
Mine is Zlatan Ibrahimovic against Southampton in the League Cup final. We were doing absolutely shite, and then I don't know how we won that game. Well, old Godman came up and just started hammering him in.
I've got his winner at number 8. Actually, that's my number 8. Yeah. That goal. I actually missed all that because I was abroad at the time and I didn't see the game at all.
They were doing absolutely crap, and then he was like,
"Oh yeah, we didn't deserve to win that final at all. Southampton destroyed us that game completely.
Yep.
We just had Ibrahimovic. That was it. Basically, he single-handedly won us the game."
Yeah, so that's my number 9.
Yeah, I remember Wembley going absolutely mental with that. Because we're like, it's like, you don't deserve it. It's kind of a weird one. It's like, well, that's kind of my number 8 a bit. You've stolen it. We didn't deserve it. Yeah, you've stolen it.
and it's a bit sweet because you've kind of like stolen it when you thought you had no chance because you're under the cosh most of the game. That's how I felt about it.
Anything is still possible, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, oh, good choice, Archie. Yeah, that was my number 8.
Won't like me next one.
Well, my number 9 is, I don't know if you can remember this one, Robin van Persie's hat-trick goal against Olympiakos in the second leg of the Champions League round of 16 under Moyes. So 13-14 season. And a lot of this was down to like context of the situation. We got beaten. We got absolutely hammered by Olympiakos 2-0 when we were in Olympiakos. Everyone was on the back of Moyes. We then lost 3-0 to Liverpool. And then the game after, we had to play Olympiakos at home. And everyone thought, right, this is the end. This is curtains. This is everyone's going to, the end of Moyes, end of everything. This is just, everyone was waiting to absolutely hammer us that game. And we came out and we pulled it out the bag. And Giggs was amazing. And Van Persie scored a hat-trick. And just the emotion of knowing that everyone is looking to absolutely hammer you. And you just and to pull a performance out of the bag like that, that's why it's in there. What a night. We came back and we pulled it out the bag and got through.
I recollect that a little bit. I think I've probably seen it since highlights, but I can't remember too much about that. But...
Yeah, it kind of gets forgotten about, actually, that comeback. It kind of gets brushed under the carpet, the fact that we came back like that from 2-0 down.
That's essentially because people didn't like David Moyes.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it gets forgotten about, isn't it?
I know. It's a real shame, actually, because we had some good performances under Moyes, and they've completely got forgotten about. But yeah, that's my number 9.
Game against Bayern Munich.
You still haven't forgiven Danny Welbeck for that.
No.
Like, even to this day, one mistake. The guy made one mistake. It wasn't even a mistake. It was a decent save by Neuer, and you give him a slating.
He's an idiot. He just tried dinking it over him instead of smashing it. And that's why we sold him to Arsenal.
Well, where is he now, though?
Injured because
he's at Watford now.
Really?
He's at Watford, but he never gets played. Like, he never gets a game.
Well, they're not a bad side. He wouldn't get played.
No.
Who would you rather have? Fucking Troy Deeney or bloody Danny Welbeck?
Oh, Troy Deeney, yeah. All day long.
I'll tell you what. Deeney's goal against Leicester was reasonably close to my top 10, but not quite.
Yeah. I suppose if I was involved in any way with any of those clubs, I would be putting that right up there.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
What, the playoff final one?
Semi-final, I think.
Yeah.
So, Joe, we're on to number 8. What's your number 8?
This is the one goal you won't be able to find.
Okay.
If you unless you pay for archive footage or whatever. You were there again. I think it was the 93rd minute against Morecambe back in 2011.
Oh God.
And Ross Hannah, who wasn't a very good striker for us.
Yes.
He was much better when he played for Matlock Town. That was more his level. But on this occasion, he just pulled it completely out of the bag. I remember. So it was 1-1 in the end, the game. And I think Morecambe scored in like the 60th minute or something. And I remember as soon as that goal went in, because they were actually dominating us, and they were on fire. They'd won like 4 out of the first 4 games of the season, and we just sacked our manager and got Phil Parkinson in. And I remember saying when their goal went in, saying that's it, that, and I was 100% sure that was it. And it wasn't really a fun game. But like half an hour between those moments. So yeah, and obviously you know what I was like when it went in.
It's the most mental I've ever
everybody
seen
else-
Pickles go.
Everybody else was the same, and the adrenaline was still there, pumping around me, and a whole hour and a half later on. If you can find it, or someone else can find it, that is absolutely brilliant.
I would try and find, because the celebrations were ridiculous on the back of that.
I remember actually, because I was playing in a six-a-side league, like during the time, and the week after, someone who was a Morecambe fan said to me, "Oh, were you at the game on Saturday?" And I said, "Yeah, I was." And he said, "Oh, you celebrating like you won the FA Cup final?" And I stood there and I said to him, "I don't care, mate. You think what you want. If you want to be all bitter about it, that is fine. Go through 10 years of absolute crap, and everything else that comes along with it. 2 administrations. You've never been relegated as a club. Let us have our moment. We're supposed to be a big club, and we're celebrating scoring a goal against Morecambe in last minute. Take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Don't get all bitter about it."
God.
So I remember just having a laugh at him, really. When he was, it was, I didn't care at all. So yeah, that's my number 8. It was brilliant, that, and it was after a long period of really, really poor football. I mean, we played Hereford. You saw us 1-1 rubbish.
So
many bad games.
Accrington as well. Wasn't there a really bad one at Accrington?
Yeah. So many bad games, and that was still a pretty poor game. But it was just that one moment. It's kind of what you go to football for, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess.
Definitely. Sargi, on to your number 8, mate.
Denver Bar versus Liverpool.
Oh my God. Okay. I'd love to know why. Why? Because you hate Liverpool, but you also hate Chelsea. So why is Denver Bar in that list?
Well, Liverpool were doing all right that year. They were on the verge of winning it. And then Mr. Gerrard has his famous "let's not fucking slip up now" moment. And then they go to QPR, Palace, blow a 3-0 lead, and end up fucking 3-3, trying to get the old goal difference on City when they didn't have to. Comes to Liverpool, Chelsea's game, sorry. And the ball comes to him. He slips on his arse. Denver Bar gets the ball, scores.
Now,
Hilarious.
Now,
Absolutely.
Can I ask you? Why is Lingard's goal in the FA Cup final not in there? Now, the only conclusion I can come to is that the same old argument. You hate Liverpool more than you like Man United, and that's fine if you do. Just admit it.
No. Right, Jesse Lingard isn't worth the time of day for me.
Oh my God! But he won us the FA Cup final.
Yes, but he also is a knobhead. Right? Don't like him.
Oh my God!
Right? But that of emotion, of funniness, that is in there. Because laughter is an emotion, so I thought, well, I've got to put something in about Liverpool. And Darren Bent's beach ball incident was on the list until I thought of something else, and that was actually quite high up the list as well.
Well, yeah, it's your list.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Well, my 8 was Ibrahimovic in League Cup. But fair play, Sarge. Fair play. If you got really emotionally invested in Denver Bar's goal, what the heck?
You still do now. You still do. It's one of them. It's going to be on like in well, it is now. Well, on the 10 greatest moments in the Premier League. That's definitely in there.
I doubt it will be. I doubt it is. I really doubt it.
Oh no, it is.
Maybe like most shocking or most kind of unfortunate or.
It is up there. I watched one the other week where it was number 2. And it was only beaten by when Man United played Chelsea and Mike Phelan got the balloon and popped it and scared the shit out of Fergie.
That must be like the most funniest moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is. I think that's quite funny. So,
Well, that's like saying this balloon thing or Rooney's goal against Man City. Well, I think the balloon thing's a better moment, really.
yeah, it's funny.
Oh,
So,
God.
yeah.
Right. Okay, Pickles. Number 7.
9, 8, 7. Oh, yeah. Aston Villa, semi-final of the League Cup 2013, first leg. Rory McArdle's header to put us 2-0 up.
Might be bordering on favourites to reach Wembley. And it comes from Jones, Hansen leaping high. Wells doesn't give up on it, Villa slow to react. Jones with another good ball, 2-0 Bradford! Rory McArdle has headed home! A remarkable story is being written in West Yorkshire. Bradford City are close to taking a 2-goal lead to Birmingham for the second half of this tie.
Yeah, good header.
Corner comes in, Aston Villa with some shocking defending. They're standing there. And then it actually comes back out to Gary Jones and he whips it back in, and then he comes to the near post and heads it past Shea Given. I remember that there was 3-1 that match, and I remember that first goal we scored in that match. I didn't really celebrate. I was just too nervous at this point, and I still didn't really think we'd do it because I can be a bit pessimistic like that with it. When that second one goes in, I actually thought it's actually on now. We could actually get to the League Cup final. Never thought. And what people forget about that League Cup run is in the very first match when we beat Notts County in extra time, in the 90th minute, their striker missed an open net to put Notts County through and us out.
Wow.
And it's just fine moments like that.
Yeah.
And obviously we go through, and then we end up in the final. And that goal, I think that was my favourite goal from that first leg. And that's why it's in.
Brilliant. Nice
I listened to the return leg on 5 Live. No, Matt Duke was on one.
Oh, it was brilliant. Ben Teke should have scored at least 2 though in that match, definitely.
Yeah.
But actually, Darren Bent as well. Speaking of Bent and the beach ball, I was unbelievable.
There's no beach balls. There's no beach balls at Valley Parade, so.
No, but his miss in that match was horrendous. The writing was on the wall for us, I guess, wasn't it? Written in the stars, as they say.
Definitely. Okay, Sargi, what's your number 7?
Perisic, his goal against England in the World Cup semi-final.
Rakitic for Vasilko, aimed in beyond Mandzukic and fired home by Perisic. Croatia's cravings.
Because I don't think that goal should have stood, and he's just a knob. Should not.
So that's kind of frustration and anger, right? On your
Just
part there.
absolutely gutting, really.
Yeah.
I think comes to mind with that goal.
There's also other moments in that game where 1-1, Harry Kane, just greedy, should have passed it to Sterling, and then we would have been in the final and given France a good hiding.
Well,
funnily enough, my number 7 is from the same game. My number 7 is Kieran Trippier's free kick.
It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious! Glorious England goal!
that was a close one for me, just out of the top 10, but it was a close one.
Because that is, at that point, when that goes in, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, we might actually do this. We might actually get to a World Cup final here in my lifetime. And that was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I remember. In fact, I think when it went in, I still was a bit shocked as to, surely this can't be happening.
Yeah, it was a bit like, because I'm thinking Trippier's decent at free kicks, but he doesn't do stuff like this in World Cup semi-finals. This doesn't happen for England. This sort of stuff doesn't happen.
Great moment.
Yeah, brilliant moment.
It is what it is. Unfortunate they didn't make it, but
but
I've got that
still a
goal.
great moment.
That goal is on my list. It's just a lot higher up.
Oh, okay. Well, where did you put it? Where did you put Trippier's goal?
Number 4.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because I was a bit... Yeah, I thought, well... I got the World Cup fever, and then as soon as that goal went in, it proper got me. I thought it was coming home as soon as that went in. So that's why it makes Perisic's goal... To be fair, Perisic's goal should be number 1, really. Because if that's me... Trippier's goal is making me thinking the World Cup's coming home, then that one's just like the biggest
It's coming home.
goal ever, really. All Mandzukic. So, that's at number 4 for me.
Okay, Pickles.
Coming home.
Yeah, it didn't come home. All that summer, it was like, it's coming home! And it didn't. It was like, oh no.
Did we watch that one in the pub?
Yeah.
We did watch it in the pub, yeah.
I think we watched all the games in the pub, didn't we?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch a couple in the pub, but yeah.
Joe, what is your number 6?
Number 6. You'll be able to find this one easily. Billy not against Leeds.
Oh, great goal.
Number 6. Possibly could be in the top 10 in terms of quality, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it will be, but it was a bit of a goal, that's a goal. I remember because Leeds had someone sent off in like the 30th minute or 35th minute, and they'd actually dogged it really well, and they actually went 1-0 up, literally 30 seconds before, a minute before this. And I remember when they scored thinking, yeah, that's it, because it's so late on and they've done so well. And I think it could only have taken something that brilliant to break it, to get us back into it. And everybody absolutely lost it, except me, because I was just beyond nervous in that match. It was unbelievable. I just standing there, and it's nice to remember standing there and looking around at everybody,
just taking it in.
Yeah. Still having that feeling in my mind when it's not over yet. I changed it at the last minute because there's the winner in that match, which was again a couple of minutes after.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that one's similar to other goals, so I'll put that one in, not in instead.
Okay.
I remember looking across the Leeds fans, and that was shocking behaviour, and there was like disabled Leeds fans in the centre of our pitch trying to get away from their own fans, fighting.
Jesus.
Wheelchairs being wheeled out because they were just fighting with the stewards because they were angry and.
Well, it's Leeds, isn't it? I mean, it's just
brilliant evening, though.
All likes Leeds.
Brilliant evening, and I think that goal or the winner had to be in there, and that goal edged it.
Any goal against Leeds is great.
Yeah.
We
don't have many of them.
So, Sadie, what's your number 6?
Paul Scholes versus Barcelona.
Wow. Okay.
Of the Champions League.
I have that much higher.
Just that Barcelona team was absolutely incredible. It's probably one of the best Barcelona teams there's ever been. And
that was just before.
Yeah.
No, it's still like Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, all them lot.
Yeah, it was just before they were getting, just before the Guardiola era on it.
No, but they were the
That's still a good side.
Oh, it was still a really good side. Still a really good side, yeah.
They were pretty much dominating, and then old Scholesy pops up and then smashes that one in, and Victor Valdez doesn't have a chance. And then the second leg, if there was a goal in the second leg, then that would have probably gone up as even a sucker punch if Barca had scored, because Barcelona just absolutely dominated the second leg with just a bit of passing. But yeah,
I remember at the end of that match, because I was watching that match on TV, and Nightingale wasn't watching it on TV. But I was talking to him on MSN, if you remember the old MSN days.
This was the first. Yeah, that was MSN on the first leg, wasn't it? Because the first leg was on Sky, and the second leg was on ITV. So I didn't know what was going on in the first leg. And Pickles said,
I decided for the giggles just to put that Henri had scored. And then a couple of minutes later, just to put that I was only joking.
I was gutted. I was absolutely like, yeah. Oh, that was bad.
Well, yeah, that was good matches they were. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I've got that as number 2. I've got that Scholes one as the second, because that is just, I absolutely lost my mind at that one, because it's just Champions League semi-final second leg where it's so tight, which it was so tight between us and Barcelona, and for Scholes to pull that out the bag. I think it was like the second goal we scored that season. It was only the second goal we scored that whole season. And what a goal. At Old Trafford, I mean, brilliant. Absolute, I just lost it. Totally lost it at that.
Yeah.
So,
It's also one of my favourite goals as well. So
yeah,
no, it's one of my favourites. Yeah, it's just brilliant.
Yeah. But there's other ones that have got me more riled up than that one.
That's fair enough. That's completely fair enough. Right, we're going into the top 5. Pickles, what's your 5th?
Well, it's the only goal from one of the El Clasicos. Don't think it's the one Sarge is thinking I'm going to put in there.
It's not what I'm thinking of.
2011, so obviously there was the Champions League. And it was Barcelona and Real Madrid in the semi-finals. And Messi's second goal in that first leg, so that's away at the Bernabeu.
Oh.
And he basically takes on the whole team. Again, it could possibly be in there quality-wise. But that time was just so tense. There was 4 Clásicos in it's like maybe 8 or 9 days.
Yeah.
And the battle between the managers and the 2-star players and all the Spanish players was so probably the worst relationship between the two clubs has ever been, and it's not good anyway. And I remember watching it, and I think there was a tear in my eye at that moment actually. It was kind of like the Catalans going into the territory, the enemy territory, and doing a job on them. And I think Pepe got sent off just around that time as well, maybe 70th minute or something. And there was that press conference just before the match where Pep Guardiola basically puts to bed his relationship with Mourinho, because Mourinho was always trying to play these mind games, and it was tense, so crazy. And I remember it so clearly. There could be other goals from other Clásicos in there though. The Messi's first in that game could be in there from the fly cross, but I think it probably has to be that one.
Yeah, that one's because what a way to silence the Bernabeu.
It really was.
Not many players do that. Not many players can do what he did.
I heard a story the other day actually. So in that match, Pepe got sent off for doing Dani Alves, and the year after, before the European Championships, 2012, all the Spanish players were in a room together, and there was Pierluigi Collina was doing a little presentation about refereeing, and he got together some examples of tackles and what they can't do, what they can do, what will be given red cards, and one of his examples was that example with all the Spanish players from these two teams, and it just turned into a massive argument between all the players. It was just the worst presentation ever, and then Xavi ended up saying to him, just get a different example, mate, just get a different example, because these are not working at all. That's how tense it was, it even spilled over into the national team.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, that's my number 5.
Well, Collina fucking stirred the pot then.
Yeah, probably that might have been why I did it.
He probably did it just for fun.
Yeah. How can I piss them little fuckers off?
Sargi, what's your number 5?
Mine is Lampard's goal, what was ruled out against Germany.
Okay. I mean, it's technically not a goal.
It is a goal.
I know it is a goal, but it wasn't a goal.
Touch. Lampard! Brilliant! It was in now. That surely crossed the line. It's not been given. It's big in. Here we go. Oh, it's so far in.
We were like, it was a good game, and if that goal had gone in, then we would have probably beaten the Germans.
Nah, not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
No, because
everyone says that.
When that goal wasn't given, England, the Reds went.
Everyone says
we had them on the back. We had them.
No, we did not have them. We would. The second half, they destroyed.
I watched those highlights.
We had them.
I watched those highlights the other day, and the defending is absolutely atrocious.
Where's Pickles?
They would never have gone to win.
No.
So bad the defending.
Yeah. No way. Germany would have scored again. There's no question about it.
That one.
Yeah,
fair enough. I mean, it's not really a goal, but whatever. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean it was frustrating because it's clearly a goal that you can't believe they've missed. But the good thing is that probably wouldn't happen again.
Well, it never happened again.
Now
because there'd be an half-hour mass debate over it to see if it was a goal, and VAR would go, yeah, actually, it was a goal.
No, it'd just be the referee.
No, just be goal line technology. No, technology that we actually agree on, rather than this VAR shit.
Oh yeah, forgot about the old goal line technology.
That's a good use of technology.
That is a pretty valid emotion because football can give you that. You know, it's kind of injustice.
Oh, it is massive injustice. Yeah,
but it's an injustice. But then the Germans will see it as a justice for the '66 World Cup.
Yeah, they do say that actually. That it is just what football. It does come around. The justice comes around. It evens itself out, even if it takes 50 years.
Well, that's them being bitter though.
What?
That's the being bitter, saying it's an injustice.
Okay. I don't think it is the Germans being bitter, but anyway. Right, well, my 5th was Sergio Aguero. So, Pickles, what's your number 4?
Sunderland in the FA Cup 5th round 2015.
Wow. Yeah.
John Stead scored the second of those 2 goals.
Johnson, put under pressure by Meredith and getting in a bit of a muddle. Poor clearance. Now Stead, it's John Stead, it's 2-0 Bradford. John Stead maintains his record of scoring in every round of the FA Cup this season. Bradford's cup adventure surely is going to continue now.
Good old John.
I remember he was at Sunderland. He scored 1 goal in maybe 20 games for them in the Premier League. He was absolutely awful for them. It was kind of written in the stars that he would get the winner, really. But I remember it was because I remember that first goal in that match. I just stood there and took it all in. John O'Shea own goal. That was unbelievable. And then when John Stead got the second one, I thought, "Wow, this is on." And it was kind of like all those years that we've already alluded to, of when you said this crap football rubbish.
Yeah.
Or kind of just forgotten about in one moment, one great moment. So yeah, that's my number 4. That was brilliant. As a little side note, that was actually Adam Johnson's last ever professional football match as well. So. That was a great goal. I loved it. And in fact, the Sunderland fans that day were absolutely brilliant. They were really complimentary and they clapped our team off the pitch. Obviously, they hated Gus Poyet at the time, and I've spoken to on the train. They were really, really good fans, actually, Sunderland. So,
Fair play.
That was a great day.
Brilliant. Okay, Sergio, what's your number 4? Have we had it yet? I don't know if we've had it.
Mine was Kieran Trippier's against Croatia. Was my number 4.
Yeah. Right, my number 4 was Andres Iniesta's goal in the World Cup final of 2010.
Yeah. That was close to mine. I remember that.
Another route, Iniesta's in the middle all alone. If Fernando Torres can find him, it's stabbed away uncomfortably to Fabregas. Surely now, Spain have won the World Cup for the first time in history. Andres Iniesta has broken Dutch hearts.
That's there because I was actually in Tarifa in Spain when that was going on. So to actually be in the country where they're involved in the final and be there watching it in a little town square with loads of Spaniards, and then for that to happen is just like, oh my, unbelievable. Yeah. When the goal goes in, they're just going absolutely mental. After the game, they've got like a town fountain. Everyone's jumping in the fountain. The police pull up, they stop, and then they just get out and join in. It's like, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. To be in a country to be in the country that's won the World Cup when they win the World Cup is brilliant because it's just non-stop partying, basically.
Well,
everyone's going berserk.
I remember being in Greece at the start of Euro 2004 when they beat Portugal, and that was crazy enough. Just that first match. So winning the World Cup will be. No, that was close to my top 10. That one.
It's basically just for just everyone's emotional. Yeah, that's way up there for me. Okay, are we in the top? I believe we're in the top 3. I think now, are we?
We are in the top 3.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, it didn't get voted on Football Focus. They went with the stupid West Ham match instead. I've gone with David Weatherall's goal against Liverpool. In the 12th minute, 20th second of the match, that's how clearly I remember it. That was just brilliant. I mean, I was only actually 7 years old at the time. 8 years old. So actually on the day, the memories aren't that. I remember I was sat high up in the Midland Road stand, pretty much dead centre of the pitch, so it was great view and everything, and everyone was going crazy. I didn't actually really understand when I was that old. But I remember there was a period when I was maybe 12, 13, 14 years old, and I had it recorded on video, the match. And there must have been a period of a few months where I could not go to sleep without watching the recording of that goal.
Wow. Jeez,
so
that's passion. That's absolute passion,
maybe for 5 months. Sometimes I would watch the entire match again.
Wow.
Before I went to sleep. And it's obviously on video. I don't have it on DVD. I haven't been able to convert it to DVD. So that was a massive, massive goal, and I still love watching it today. But then again, other fans have had the same. West Brom fans have had the same. West Ham fans have had the same. So it's not just me with that. It's universal, really, that one. Loads of teams have had it. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Wait, it's just like one of the most important goals in the club's history?
Yes, well, some people actually argue that we'd be better off having lost that game, going down, not spending loads of money on Carboni and Collymore and Petrescu and all these players.
Yeah.
I think that's stupid. Would I have taken those years in League Two for that? Yes. So.
Sargi, what is your number 3?
Marcus Rashford's penalty against PSG.
Yeah. Funny enough, that's not in mine, actually. That's not in mine at all.
Oh, really?
We were absolutely cracked in the first leg, but the second leg, was it? I think it was. We got off to a good start, scored a couple of early goals, and then the old French twats grabbed one, and then Diego Dalot had a shot, and it was going way over the bar. But I think was it Kim Pembe or whatever he's called. He on board it. He should have been sent off in the first leg. I think he should have been sent off in one of the games for 2 yellow carded tackles, and he didn't get it. So it was a just deserved thing on his behalf because he's a knobhead for not getting sent off. And I think we were around at your house, and then was Marcus Rashford born when Buffon had played his first Champions League game or something? It was something daft. And then he smashed it in, and I think I've gone sliding across your front room on my knees, going a bit mental.
Yeah, I remember going a bit mental. I'm trying to think why I haven't put it in mine. I think I haven't put it in mine because it seemed it seemed a little bit dodgy. Like the whole VAR giving the penalty, it seemed like proper. Like I was like, can I celebrate? Can I really? Because it seemed like we were getting through on a bit of an injustice. That's why I couldn't put it in there, because I didn't think that it was like
we were crap at all. We deserved to get beat because we were shit at home that year, but away from home we were quite actually good. But yeah, it wasn't unjust because it was never a penalty because the ball was going over the bar. But yeah, just that.
For you, no. For you, that doesn't matter. So.
It was another one of those famous Man United last kick of the game sort of moments where.
That's fair enough, Sarge.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay, my number 3 is Michael Owen's goal in the 4-3 against Manchester City in the Premier League 2009-10 season. That is.
Yeah. I was watching that.
Just what a game of football. Firstly, I mean, what a crazy ass game of football that was. And I think it was just the fact that we'd got in it, thrown it away, got in it again, thrown it away, and we were like, it was like when Bellamy scored in like injury time, you thought, well, that's it. I honestly thought, well, we've thrown that away. And then
I think the Man City fans thought that as well.
Yeah, I watched Match of the Day with that, and they got and if Craig Bellamy hadn't had celebrated for the length of time he did, Man United would have drawn that game.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the referee added on the amount of seconds he was pissing around, hugging, kissing, arse licking, cocksucking, every other one of those fucking knobheads that he added the time on. So. Well done, Michael. The only good thing he's ever done.
And then Giggs has the presence of mind to spot a through ball, and then Owen with like the coolest finishing in the world, and it's like, oh my god! And we just, I remember just absolutely losing my mind. It's similar to Paul Scholes one where I've just lost it, absolutely lost it.
He sort of
can't believe what's going on.
He redeems himself for playing for Liverpool and Mayo knobheads.
Well, for me, Michael Owen could do no wrong after he did that.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, he should have played that Champions League final, shouldn't he, I guess?
Should not have got no beds.
So, number 2, Pickles.
Another goal from that League Cup run, 2013. The Hansen goal in the second leg.
Yeah.
After Villa, where he kind of just gets out of the defender, really, and does a bit of a job on him and nobs it past Given, and everybody just absolutely lost it. And
for Jones' corner. McCargill goes near post. Hansen coming in! The dream is very much alive! Big Jim Hansen scores for Bradford City. Villa undone again in the air at a set piece. Aston Villa 1, Bradford City 1. Bradford City lead the tie 4-2. This is the very stuff of football fairy tales.
Seeing the crowd and the fans and then the players and the staff. And obviously that was the goal that saw us to Wembley, first time in 50 years for a fourth-tier side in the League Cup.
The funny thing with watching those games, because I think I watched both of those, was like, when it came to the second leg, it was like everyone knew that your strength was from set pieces.
Yeah.
And yet Aston Villa kind of didn't learn anything from the first leg. It was like they didn't even.
Well, all 4 of our goals in those 2 legs came either from the second ball from corners or direct from a corner, and they just didn't get it. There's a great video by an undercover Birmingham fan in the Aston Villa end of that match where you hear all Aston Villa fans. It's pretty funny. You hear them all slating the set piece marking and all that stuff. But it was true underdog goal. That I was really trying to get a Leicester goal in the top 10 from their season when they won the Premier League, because that's a similar type of story. Oh, I haven't got one in there, but that was our Leicester moment. That was.
Oh yeah.
I think the only Leicester goal, what would come close to going in that top 10, would be Vardy's record-breaking goal against Man United for like 11 goals in a row against 11 games. Yeah, that one. That would come close to it out of their season.
I think Ujo scored a last-minute winner against Norwich that season, where I think there was like a mini earthquake in Leicester recorded or something, based on the reactions of fans to that goal.
Jesus.
That one might be close. I think there's a few, but that was our Leicester goal for me. That was our moment. That was.
We were all sat round outside a restaurant thing in Barcelona, weren't we, enjoying a massive pint of Estrella when Leicester lifted the title.
Yeah, watching that, thinking that I wonder if anyone else who's not from the UK realises how big a deal this is. Like,
I don't think they give a shit, did they?
Yeah.
Walking past.
Like, we were like watching history, and everyone else was kind of like, well.
It was the same way in the place I was working as well. It was people didn't realise how big a deal it actually was. I mean, it's like, if you think about in Spain, it'd be like
Girona winning the league.
Not quite, mate. That's even more tremendous. Maybe like Real Sociedad winning the league or something, which is.
Well, they never do it, because they're shit.
Well, people said about Leicester.
Yeah, that's true. Sanji, what's your number 2?
David Beckham's goal against Greece in 2001 game, where we needed to win or draw to go through, and he steps up last minute, boom, pings it in the back of the net. Yeah.
Beckham to take. The 93rd minute at Old Trafford. Beckham! Yeah! He's done it! David Beckham! Fantastic! It's 2-2, and England may still be going to the World Cup automatically.
I watched that game at my mate's house, and I think Teddy was one of the quickest goals by substitution or something. And Sheringham came on and then scored from a corner, and then Beckham, we got a free kick.
That was actually the beginning of Greece's journey to Euro 2004. I mean, I know it was the World Cup qualifiers, but in terms of that squad of players, that's when they all came together, wasn't it? And then they all went on to win 2004.
It gave us a really tough game, that game, actually. They were really throwing a spanner in the works, really, of our qualification until Beckham stepped up.
Yeah, I think I was there thinking, Greece, it's not going to be that much of a big deal. And then when was like, hold on, we actually need a goal here to score and go through. And Mr. Beckham does that. So
that is a great choice. Great choice.
that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the Pulse goals in the Champions League semi-final. So we're on to the number 1 most emotional goal.
Don't let me down, Joe.
What is your number 1?
Let me down with this one.
Well, I don't think it could be complete, and I haven't mentioned it at all so far. And in fact, 3 out of the 4 goals in this game could be mentioned.
Yes,
So
yes.
Andrew Halliday's in the 82nd minute to put us 3-2 up away at Stamford Bridge.
Yates, a substitute, into Stead. Now Derby. Bradford will still be dreaming, it could get even better. Here's Marias, into John Stead. Looking for the room for the turn, in came Halliday! Would you believe it? Andrew Halliday puts Bradford in front with less than 9 minutes remaining. Having trailed 2-0 after 38 minutes of this FA Cup tie, Bradford are 3-2 in front.
I know Sarge is loving it.
Amazing day. Amazing day.
I remember travelling down. I remember we beat Millwall 4-0 to get to there, and as soon as we'd beat them, it was great performance. It was freezing though. I remember thinking, I'll get a ticket for it. I'll have a good trip out in London. I'll go for the giggles. We'll lose 3-0. I remember saying we'll lose 3-0. In fact, I'll put 3-0 on Super 6. So it'll be good fun. You know, it'll be nice to go and see it all, and whatever. And Cahill scored to put them up, and then Ramirez, and I thought, yeah, that's expected. I'm not even bothered about it really. And then obviously the rest is kind of history really. It was a close one between Yates with the 4th and Halliday with the 3rd. For which one would be it? And I went with Halliday's. Because even as the goal hit the net and I saw him running off and I was hugging everybody around me and everyone else was hugging everybody, I remember celebrating and at the same time thinking, they'll come back and win 4-3, they're going to do it. I don't care, I've had a great day already. It was just pure jubilation with the moment really, and it was just so great, and obviously the fact that we actually got that 4 probably cements its place as the first place for me. If we'd have gone to lose, I probably wouldn't have put it in there. So it was just brilliant.
It was the first time that I've really hated Mourinho as well, with his comments before and after the game saying a team like Chelsea can't lose to a team like Bradford because they're small, they're not that good. They're pretty much he was slating them, and then they lose, and then he was like, well, yeah, they're still quite shit, though, aren't they, Bradford? Well, is that able to beat you though, Mourinho? No.
Interestingly enough, I think
there was all these comments building up to that game, which makes it better for me, and also it's just Chelsea. No fucking likes them, does it? The bunch of rent boys.
I remember towards the end of the match, Mourinho turned to Parkinson to shake his hand before it actually had finished, and Parkinson just waved him, just basically palmed him away and said, "No." I think he actually took that. I'm not shaking his hand yet. It's not over.
Yeah, it's his little mind game things that he tries to pull out the bag.
It just wasn't, and it was just brilliant. I think actually in that same month, Tottenham also beat them 5-2, and then we beat them 4-2, and ever since he's just not been the same manager.
Yeah. Trust our board to hire him on the back of that.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. No, it's the one time I actually gained points on Super 6 because I actually put Bradford to win 1-0.
It was never going to happen. We were never going to win that match. It was dead certain. I remember having to get a ticket for that match. It was before I had a car, so I had to get on the train to Bradford at 6:30 in the morning and get back before I started work. And it was freezing, it was snowing, I was slipping all over the place walking to the ground to get this ticket. And obviously, it was all worth it in the end.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh,
So yeah, that's number one.
brilliant. Sargi, what's your number one?
I think you all know my number one, don't you? It's the winner of the Champions League final in '99, where that one.
That's it. You can't say any more than that. That's basically.
Well, yeah. I remember I was watching it upstairs, and my dad came upstairs, and he goes, "Oh, have they lost yet?" "No, not yet." It was like the 90th minute. Then he comes back up about 5 minutes later and says, "Oh, have they lost now yet?" And he goes, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Well, no, have they lost, so you're crying?" I went, "No, Dad, they've just bloody won." He said, No, they haven't. I was like, "Yeah, they've just won."
Beckham into Sheringham, and Solskjaer has won it!
And it was probably one of 2 games I've got theory about winning something, and that was the first one.
Wow.
Of proper emotion was that one when good old fucking Beckham crosses it, Sheringham flicks it on, and Solskjaer just pokes it in the back of the net. And all the Germans are all rolling around on the floor crying. Fucking brilliant.
You just want to see people crying and upset.
He loves it. He loves watching misfortune of other players. He can't get enough of it.
Well, we had. I was watching something about old McLaren afterwards. Well, not afterwards, but a few years later. And they were saying that McLaren had said, "Oh, just settle for extra time now. You've got it. We can take them to extra time." And this is why probably McLaren failed as England manager. He said, "Oh, Sheringham's got us to go. We're back in it. Might as well just settle for extra time." And Fergie just goes, No, we've won this." And so that's why McLaren's a fucking shite manager, because he doesn't have a clue really. When the back's against the ropes, he was like, "Yeah, well, we'll just let him off." And then if it probably
did it actually happen?
Lost, and it is the greatest comeback in a Champions League final ever. I don't take that fucking shite from Istanbul 3-0 down at half time. That's bullshit, because that stupid cheating scouse twat dived to get that penalty. Everybody knows it, even he knows it. So they can fuck off. And they had to go to penalties. They couldn't even do it in 90 minutes. They had to go to penalties. That's not a comeback. A comeback is doing it in 90 minutes. Not bloody penalties. Bradford's against Chelsea's is better than that one. So, yeah, that's my number.
No, actually, Bradford's comeback is better. That is true.
Yeah, because they did it in 90 minutes.
Statistically, it actually is.
Yeah, they did it in 90 minutes.
Oh, we scored 4.
Yeah, and when they start rabbiting on about, it's not. No, you needed penalties.
I mean, I haven't got the 99 final. I was too young. For me personally, I was too young to get emotionally really understand what's going on. So that's why I haven't got it in my top 10. Retrospectively, if I'm looking at it in the history of United, yeah, of course it's way up there. But for me,
that makes sense.
No. My number one is actually a really recent one, and it's the reason it's number one is there's lots of little factors that have built up to this being number one.
Oh, it's like it's fucking Jesse.
And this is Scott McTominay's second goal against Manchester City in the Premier League this season.
That was there, yeah.
And the reason is, I don't know why, there's just lots of little factors. It's the fact that we're doing the double over Manchester City, we've got Solskjaer as manager, and it's a local lad who's grown up through the academy who's scored the goal of his life.
Well, and also you were the underdogs.
Yeah, we were totally the underdogs, and we had to dog it out. And the whole Old Trafford was absolutely buzzing. It was like really trying to get it going. and we knew we were the underdogs. So for that moment to happen, it's almost like relief as well, because you know 2-0, there's no coming back, and just the manner of the goal, it's like everyone just lost it, and for me, that's why it's the most emotional. Lots of little factors built up to that moment.
Edison had a shy game. He should not have let the first one in. And fuck knows what he's doing for that one. So Edison had a shocker, and he's to blame.
That was also the last goal that people remember.
Yeah, it's the last goal that we scored at Old Trafford.
The last goal I've seen live.
No, I like the arse whooping you got at Salford, because you were shit.
Well, honestly, it's more entertaining watching you two play one-on-ones than that match.
From that '99 season, I can remember the FA Cup final as well. Very, very quite distinctly.
I thought I'd mention a few goals that we will all know about that were close to the top 10.
Okay, go for it.
Quickly rattle them off. So we've got Torres against Barcelona when Gary Neville loses it. Haaland against Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, it's a hurt, yeah.
Almost all the goals Germany scored against Brazil.
Yes.
Almost all the goals Liverpool scored against Barcelona.
No!
Messi's winner in 2017 against that team.
Yes, that was fucking funny. Jumping around the crafty scholar, that was fucking funny.
Iniesta against Holland, Owen against Man City.
Yes, yeah.
And Messi against Iran for Argentina in 2014. That was, seeing those Iranian players, they were absolutely devastated by the end of that match. So they were some of the goals that came close for me, but didn't.
What missed out on mine were Rooney's overhead kick against Man City.
Okay.
Evers against Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Ian Robbins against Man United for Bayern Munich, where we were pretty much going through, and then old Clive Tilsley said, cursed the commentator.
That was a great goal.
That was a hell of a goal.
Yeah. Van Persie's against Aston Villa. That was a brilliant.
That could possibly be in top 10 quality wise. That.
Yes.
Yeah. And the comedy value ones were not pure comedy value. Right. Denver Bar's the beach ball one, and Vincent Kompany's own goal against Fulham for Man City. That is absolutely beautiful. And another one where it was, I think, one that a Bradford one that missed out was, I don't know his name, but we're at the Morecambe game, and he handballed it, and then
Aaron McLean. I thought about that one. For the same reason that you've given there.
Yeah, that was very, very fun.
That was hilarious because the whole stadium knew it was handball except one person.
Yep. Oh, and Giggs's goal against Arsenal in the semi-final replay, FA Cup, where he just skinned every fucker.
Nice one.
Well, there have been some other wow moments that I've missed out. Where I think it was Ronaldo's. Was it against West Ham? His little tap-in, but it wasn't his goal that made the goal. It was Berbatov, where he got to the byline and did a little flick and then pinged it to him.
Amazing skill.
Yeah. So that goal is missed out, but it wasn't the goal. It was the assist. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, cheers for that, lads. That was a lot of fun.
It was, yeah. It was really tough though, really tough.
Oh, really tough.
I've still got so many Bradford goals which I could easily.
I had so many United that I could have slotted in, but yeah, it was a tough one. So everyone, to all those who've stuck around and listened to all this,
What we're going for next week?
what we're going for next week is the top 10 quality goals. So this is just the best goals that you've seen in your lifetime.
Right.
Any team, it's the case of the best.
I'll have to think about that one. Yeah.
It's going to be tricky because you got to weigh up. Would you put a volley ahead of a finesse shot? Would you put an overhead kick ahead of this? Would you put this? So yeah, this is going to be an interesting list. This is going to be interesting. So yeah, top 10 quality goals is next.
Yeah, I'm just smashing them out now.
So right. Well, we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
See ya.